we live on a pale blue dot, right? That's what the physicist and astronomer Carl Sagan, the great science communicator, once coined as a phrase. Right? This pale blue dot we live on. And how correct he was about that. And when seen from the outer ends of just our solar system, past Mars and past Uranus, Neptune, turn around, high-tech satellite with a camera affixed to it, and you look back at the planet that we live on and feel the cosmos, even from just there, just a pale blue dot in darkness of space. The vastness of the galaxy, the universe, the cosmos. And why is that a very special thing? Should it not make us all feel alone, as if there be nothing else? Hey, buddy. Should it not make us feel some kind of nihilistic feelings of abandon, as if there's nothing of any significance or importance in the universe, and that we're just alone in this frigid existence of the vacuum of space, and that eventually entropy will be the death of the universe some billions of years from now? Or should it make each and every one of us appreciate the unique, special characteristics of the very fact that there is life on Earth, that there are billions of people, and hundreds of millions, if not trillions or more, of other forms of life, from mammals to fish to reptiles to insects, right? Birds, all kinds of things. Why is it that we look at this earth from the ground level that we live on it? Even if you live in the tallest skyrise, you're still at ground level, right? Effectively. When you look back at the earth from even just hundreds of miles away, where the satellites are floating around, or the space station, even from there, you can't even see individuals. There are no borders from when you look at space, at the earth. There's just water and land. And there are different variations among the land. But that's it. There's no national boundaries visible from space. There are no peoples lining up against other people visible from space. Sure, you can say, well, with satellite imagery, we can zoom in. Right. I'm talking about your good old-fashioned naked eye. Right? Appreciate, if you will, the poetry that is the universe, even if it was completely made by this way or that way, and we know the answer. And you can have your own opinion, and that's the beauty of living in a free society. My opinion is I go with the science on this. So, the big flex, or as is more commonly called the Big Bang, it doesn't really matter. We don't know what happened before it, that's for sure. Any legitimate scientist will tell you that. What we do know is what happened after us. Scientifically speaking, you know, the very rapid expansion and formation of gas clouds and dust, eventually binding into rocks, at such high temperatures, massive rocks smashing into each other, eventually spinning around each other as giant balls of fire that erupted out of the gases became stars, and the stars had such strong gravity. Each star has such strong gravity that rocks spun around them, spun around them, and spun around them until a lot of them would collide into each other and form planets that would continue to spin around the stars, thus forming solar systems. And in many groups of them, they would become galaxies. And the hundreds of billions of galaxies form the expanding universe. And with new stars being born with supernova or nova, that's when stars die, yes. But when they die, they cause new things to happen. Right? So a star explodes and blasts particles, sends kind of a little shockwave throughout the fabric of space. And that shockwave is felt. And it's part of the magnetic radiation that we can measure with things like the LIGO to literally hear the hemming and hawing, the vibration of space. And again, it should tell us so many things, and it does. And so, as we sit or stand, or whatever position you want to think of, as we are here on this pale blue dot, floating through the ever vastness of space. What is it we can say about said space? That it is better to have a singular planet to experience life on, even though we may never encounter life anywhere else. Or would it be better if it were different? And by different, I mean, I leave that open to you. Would it be better if it was teeming with life throughout the universe? Or if it was just a little bit here and there, but it was inaccessible to us? Or if it was just a little, but it was still very accessible to us? Either way, when you think about it, that's an interesting question. Because what if it were teeming with life, yet that life was extremely dangerous to us? After all, for example, if it was teeming with life and that life could reach us easily, for them but not for us, then that would suggest that their technology is far, far superior to ours, considering that for us to reach even the very nearest star or star system would take many, many years, traveling at extremely, extremely fast speeds. And we don't have such technology available. So probably no human alive today will ever see such a thing if we go the conventional route. That doesn't mean that there are not other technologies that we might discover. Right? Of course we will. It just takes time and science. However, I would argue, as we are discovering types, and because we happen to be in a relatively remote corner of the galaxy, you know what I mean? An outer arm on the outer rim, on the outer edge of the Milky Way galaxy. And our galaxy happens to be not very close to the center of the universe, the known universe. I would argue that since we happen to be out up the country, kind of, so to speak, that we should use the time that we do have, as long as we are still alive and sort of thriving, and still not yet, as far as we know, inundated by extraterrestrial life, right? As far as we know, officially, that we should take the time to explore and develop things ourselves, so that if and when that time should ever happen, it happens when we're good and ready for it. Meanwhile, I wish you all a wonderful time on this pale blue dot.